what's going on, you guys? Long time no see. If you haven't seen my stuff before, I usually make videos on the E46 M3. If you're returning, what's going on? Unfortunately, I have bad news. I sold the E46 M3. I did. Didn't want to. Long story short, TLDR, wanted the equity out. Simple as that. I had other things I wanted to do. Amazing car. Actually, probably and arguably the best M3 generation out there.
The best one, I'll just say it as it is. I think the E46 M3 is the best.
But what I'm here today and while we're making this video is I want to tell you and talk to you about what I replaced it with. And yeah, while I did buy an M3 to replace the old one, a 2018 F80 M3 competition, Tanzanite blue, overextended Cohiba, double individual car. That is not the reason I'm making this video. It's this. And this is my new daily. A 2011 E92 328i 6-speed manual slick top. Okay, let me explain. Okay, so why is the E92 base 328 positioned to be the next best cheap enthusiast BMW? Basically, it's just that. It is the very base model of the 3 Series. And it's at that life cycle where nobody, I'm telling you, nobody is looking at these. You can find these on Facebook Marketplace all day. In a 6-speed manual, coupe, sedan, definitely. If you want a sedan, you'll find one right now. You can find these on Facebook Marketplace for under $5,000. And I'll even show you. Let's go ahead and just jump onto Facebook real quick. Okay, here is my For You page on Marketplace. I conveniently had these 3 E90s right next to each other. First one's a 325, 06. Looks like everything works, listed at 4,800. This is a black on black car, 6-speed manual. That's all that we really care about. Interior is really not too bad either. If we're gonna daily it, I mean, not much to see here. Typical E90, AC works, new tires, 6-speed. Rebuilt, so it's a beater, but not bad for a drift car. Next one, we have 330 listed at 4,000. Okay, this is a really strong candidate. 6-speed, of course. Interior is pretty clean on this one. Yeah, another black on black car. Not much to see. Needs a shifter, so this one you could probably even get a bit cheaper. And yeah, 4K oboe. Actually, this one's a good deal. Next, we had this. Looks like an 08 328 at 3,800, so already off to a good price. White over tan, not bad. Needs a shifter, probably get it at 3,400. And here's the one that I bought. This is the listing that I saw. It was listed at 47. Need an ABS and actually needed brakes. So when I got there, I offered the dude 4,000. But it's exactly that. It's the bottom line of the 3 Series. And it's positioned where the older ones are much more attractive because they have some history. And the newer ones are just much better, you know, with turbos and V8s and everything. Nobody's looking at these, and that's what makes the bases always great. When the E30 M3 was out, you had the base 325 narrow body or the 318. Great cars. Now super expensive. Now when the E36 was out, you had the S50 and S52 models, which were great cars. But you always had the 325 and then later 328 E36. And those were amazing, and those now are worth a good amount if they're clean. And they're pretty hard to come by now, just like the E30. You had the E46 M3 generation. If you didn't have the M3 on that one, guess what? You had the 325 and the E46 330 with the B30 engine, which was great. Great enthusiast cars, but guess what? Those have gone up in price. And then you have the E90 generation. You had the E90 and E92 M3, which had the V8. And E90 generation of M3 was so good with the V8 that literally everyone has turned a blind eye to these. It's got everything you want. It's cheap, it's readily available, parts galore. There's probably a million of these in the junkyard now. E36 and E30s, E46, not so much. And it has all the makings of what you want. It's a 6-speed manual, it's rear-wheel drive, you can get an LSD or weld the diff like I have. It has a bunch of parts availability and support already in the aftermarket scene. Another part that makes this car so great and what made the other cars so great, it's a great daily. I mean, again, it's manual, the shifts are smooth, the car is quiet. It just has that little bit more of like refinement and everything to the drive that makes it even better daily than the E36 or E46, which are already great dailies. It's very, very similar. The DNA is not lost on this car. While, I mean, you kind of look at it and you're like, you know, kind of boring. It's the non-turbo model. It starts to have screens and everything. But I'm telling you, for $4,000, that's exactly what you want. And that brings me to the next point. This car is an insane value when you think about it. So for $4,000, I got a 2011 328i. And what that comes with is the updated iDrive, not the silver knob one. It's got cup holders, you know, albeit not the best cup holders. It's got cup holders. The seats are nice. They all power fully everything. It's got a good sound system. For $4,000, I challenge you to find something nicer than what you get with this in terms of value. And on top of that, again, if you are someone that goes to the junkyard, you're gonna find these in the junkyard. You're not gonna find an E36 anymore. You're probably starting to have a tough time trying to find E46 stuff in the junkyard. There's a ton of these. They have the 325, the 328, the 330, the 335, all of those, you know, chassis-wise, all the same parts. I have updated lighting now. Now this is a big one. My headlights on an E36 were like candlesticks. They were terrible. The E46, they were pretty good. They were the Xenons with the DS2s on the M3. Not the best though. These are good. The E92, I'm telling you, it has great headlights. It has adaptive headlights, so they turn when I turn the wheel. You know, it's really an amazing car for the price. It's pretty wild. I mean, isn't that what you want? You want that cheap, fun car to get into cars, you know, to get into drifting, to get into grip racing, whatever it is. You don't want your barrier to entry to be $8 grand to have a nice example of a base model car. Okay, so you got your cheap 3 Series, you want to get into it, but now you've got to fix something, right? And you don't want your cheap, fun car to be hard to work on. Well, let me tell you, this car is actually one of the easiest platforms to work on. Starting, there's no mechanical fan. It's already an E-fan, so you have all this room in the front to get wrenches and everything. I did the belts. I didn't remove a single thing. All of the coolant hoses are like quick disconnects, so you don't have to fiddle with like weird hose clamps. Probably got to change that. I've also done the oil filter housing gasket and changed this to the aluminum fitting, the Mickey Mouse fitting, whatever that is. And it was so easy. It is so simple to work on. I changed the clutch already. It was like a 3-day job, which that was me going at like a leisurely pace. I already changed the diff out, which I had mentioned. I changed to a 373 diff. I also put on an angle kit, an FDF angle kit, since this is going to be like my daily drifter.
Yeah, I think he did FDF.
And that was easy. I mean, it's no easier than an E36 or an E46, but it's not any harder. And I think that is the point. Because when you're out there, again, in your cheap value car that you're just bought to really get into drifting or whatever it is, you don't want it to be hard to work on. Okay, so here we are. We're inside the 328 again. And it's slow. I looked up and it said 230 horsepower and 200 torque, something like that. Now, that's not a lot. But if we keep in mind the E36 and E46, they only had right around 200 horsepower. I think my 328i in stock form was something like 180 horsepower or 200 with 180 torque. So not a lot. The E46, you think about the 330, great driving car. It has about 220 horsepower. E46, about 240 horsepower for the US versions. And so this is right there, kind of right amongst E36 M3, E46 330 territory in terms of power. Now I will tell you, it feels quick. Car does not feel fast at all, I won't lie. But, I mean, that's kind of the magic of these cars, right? It's like that whole slow car fast deal, right? Additionally, it's a 6-speed, right? So I have the 6-speed, I have the 373, so it's fun. Like, it's a fun car. And I actually did take it to a drift day, and the car did great. I mean, I'll throw in a couple clips here. Hell yeah. But the cliff notes of it is it didn't feel like it needed power, didn't feel like it needed really much of anything. It's not quite as engaging as an E36 or an E46. I'm gonna come right out. It's not that level of like right off the bat steering feel and everything, but it's not bad. And I'm 100% certain that if I did have an exhaust intake, an exhaust, some coilovers on this car, maybe a different steering wheel, that it would be very on par. It is a little insulated in its stock form, which I can't knock it for, because again, on that daily meter, you know, from race car to daily, it sits a nice, you know, it's comfortable right there in the middle. And I'm not mad about where it is on that scale. But the question is, will it do a burnout? I think if you're gonna have a fun car, you gotta be able to do a burnout in it. One-handed, so. Yes it can, yes it can. That's what I'm saying, these things, these things rip. These things honestly rip. They're so fun and they're so cheap for a $4,000 fun car. No brainer, no freaking brainer. So that's pretty much it. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I will make this quick. Those are my whatever amount of reasons it took to tell you that the E90 generation, E9x generation, 328i is the best and cheapest enthusiast BMW right now. I highly recommend looking at those. If you're looking at an E36 or an E46, consider them. Don't sleep on them. I definitely slept on them. Bought one just because the deal was good, and I'm very surprised, very pleased. Other than that, I mean, think about it. It's cheap, the value, easy to work on, parts galore, they rip, they look good, they're not old, you have cup holders, you have Bluetooth. I mean, for $4,000, and you can put another $1,000 in suspension and some wheels, and that car would be great. Some intakes and exhausts at some point. Honestly, not bad. Same power as the E46 M3. The list really goes on and on. Probably more than I've even mentioned here. These are just like my quick takeaways, but that's it really. I mean, whether you like them or you don't, I hope you enjoyed the video. I do hope to start making some stuff on the F80 soon. Maybe even bring the E30 back around. A lot of stuff has happened on my end. If you're a return viewer, I've had a kid, I got a new job. Finally started to get the shop going, I got a lift. So life has been lifing for sure. I've been busy, you know, just trying to keep up. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I definitely have been having fun owning these kind of new set of cars. I had a 7 Series for a while, an E38, that I don't think I ever showed. Sold that, I flipped it. A lot of stuff has happened, and of course, the E46 is gone. Man, I'm definitely sad about that one. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, leave them below. I'm curious to know what you guys thought or think about the E90 generation, given the video, given what I've shown you. Are you looking at an E36, E46? Would you consider one of these? Let me know. Hope you guys have fun. See you in the next one. Peace.